Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome to Dave the Suit Betting. Well, tomorrow, Boxing Day, my favourite day of the year. A day of sport, a day of betting, and a day of drinking. I've not put a video out since the Saturday, the 14th of December. I did state in the video I'd try and win you some Christmas money. Feel the need, put out at 6-1. Duly obliged. Everyone should have beaten the SP. It did finish 7-2, but the 6-1 was available with 365 up to an hour before the race. Did open at 9-2. Idled in front when it hit the front, but I thought it won quite tidily at 7-2. I hope you spent the money wisely. So Boxing Day, I've got 4 selections. Let's hope we can have another winning week this week. I'm advising £5 each way, chip shot fiver each way, or £10 win on the selections, depending on the prices. Here's the first one at Wolverhampton. Oh, the first race, 3:35 at Wolverhampton, extended 9 furlongs. The favourite's 11-10. It's won 4 on the bounce, and its last run was an improved run off a higher mark. Again, it's up 3. It did start off on 46. I wouldn't put off anyone from backing it. It's got a good chance. That race it won last time is basically an identical race to this. And it did win comfortably. But you'll go bankrupt backing 11-10 shots at Wolverhampton. Now, the one I like, because of the price as well, is an old notebook horse, Celebrating Ethel. They've put cheek pieces on. I've watched all these replays. I liked this race. The only time it's ran at Wolverhampton, it was a fillies race. Today it's a furlong further, and I thought this was a good run. And in a harder race, if you look at the first 3, 70, 69, 72, it did run off 61. It was a little bit slow away, and it ran on really well. Just like a tad of pace, arguably. But I thought that was a decent run. This run, it was too short at Lingfield, and it didn't have a clear run. Next time out at Lingfield, it got the lead for some strange reason. Where are we? Led early. I don't think it knew what to do. But that was in a better race than this, and he seemed to take a tug on it. I thought this was a good race at Kempton, but it was too far for it. Not only that, it was drawn badly. It was drawn in 11, which you don't want at Kempton. It kind of went to stay on, got a little bit short of room and had to be pulled, lost a bit of momentum, and then it weakened. I think today I would be confident if it was a fillies race, but at 25-1, we'll play each way, Celebrating Ethel. So, Celebrating Ethel, 25-1, chip shot fiver each way. It is a filly. I'd be quite confident if it was a fillies race, actually. It's miles too big. It's got conditions to suit. They've reached for the cheek pieces. I've got to give it a chance. I've got to give it a chance at 25-1. The favourite 11-10, if you want to play a horse that's won 4 on the trot. How many horses win 5 on the trot? It started off on a mark of 46. It did seem to improve last time when it won. It's now running off 63. I can't play an 11-2 shot at Wolverhampton ever. So here's the second race. So the 12, an early race, the 12:27 at Weatherby. And the one I like, all right, you've got to go with this. You've got to go with the first 3 on bet 365. There are only 7 runners, so you need to play with 365. And the one I'm going with is the outsider of the field, Empty Nest. They've gone for the tongue tie, and the form I'm going on is this one at Catterick this time last year. And I thought it ran really well. They had it too far behind that day. And it only got beaten neck. And it says here, did well in the circumstances. I don't think it was his best ride. And then it ran no sort of race next time at Catterick when they made it 6-4 favourite, but that was on soft ground. I think it was very soft. And it didn't have conditions to suit in any of these races. Exham, it's too stiff for it. Market Race, it made a couple of bad errors, tricky track, and then it over too far at Exham. A slight improved bit of form at Sedgefield last time out. And I'm happy with 3 places. 3 places of 50 odds to go with Empty Nest. I think this track being a little bit easier, nice and flat, I think it'll suit it with what I saw at Catterick, and I think it can win this, or at least get a place at too big a price for 3 places. So that's the 12.27 at Weatherby. Empty Nest. You have to play with 365 currently. I don't know if Sky Bet or Ladbrokes or William Hills, etc., will pay the 3 places, but it's 12-1 with 365, 3 places, chip shop, £5 each way. Only 7 runners. Here's the third race. It's a win bet, the 135 at Weatherby. So the 135 at Weatherby, the one I like here is Some Scope. This is a decent little race, by the way. I like Some Scope. I like the mark it's on. The £7 claimer. Now, 10-2, take the 7 off, 9-9. I don't know if he can do 9-9. He's done it 9-12 in the last 12 months. That's his lowest weight. He's a conditional jockey, but he's no mug. And if you look at its form, I like this form at Doncaster. It won as it pleased, comfortably. Nice flat track, Doncaster, and so is Weatherby. Then ran another good race at Doncaster. Ran at Cheltenham, Class 2 race in handicap. Had a break, got pulled up, then had wind surgery, and I thought this wasn't bad at Newcastle. First run after wind surgery and a break. Towards rear, held up. Went third, 3 out, lost third, 2 out, no extra. That was its comeback run. Thought that was a good run. And Newcastle's a stiff track. Weatherby is more like Doncaster in the fact that it's flat. The fences are quite stiff. And I just don't think cruise control can give it all that weight. I really don't. I'm just unsure about the weight it will carry. Callum Pritchard hasn't carried this lower weight, 9 stone 9, for the last 12 months. I think he's done, did I say 9-12 in the video? But I'm happy to play. I'm putting 365 prices out for this. It's 3-1 with 365, £10 win. You can, if you shop around, you can get 7-2. So here's the last selection, the big race at Kempton. Boxing Day, you've got to have a bet in the King George. It's compulsory. I think any of them could possibly win if they're putting their best foot forward, including Corbett's Cross. We don't know how good Corbett's Cross is. Last year, I watched Ile Francais win the novice race at this meeting. in a much faster time than the King George. But, and I got it marked down as a King George winner for this year. But since then, on 2 of 3 occasions, it's bled in France, heavy ground. Then it won on heavy ground, won well. And then on very soft ground, it got pulled up again. It's bled on 2 occasions. Now this, I mean, it could lead them a merry dance. I mean, it won doing handstands. Impressive in a very, very fast time. I don't think the ground will be as fast as it was last year. And obviously we've got Envoy Allen. I think Envoy Allen getting a bit long in the tooth now. It's ran once at Kempton and basically it ran like a donkey wearing clogs, and it just ran no sort of race. Just gelding, jumped poorly. I think it's a Cheltenham horse, and that's where it does all its winning and placed. It's Bravesman game. I mean, you can't fault its Kempton record. You really can't. Kempton, second this race, won, and then won the novice the previous year. You can't fault it. Now, Banbridge for me, it's an iffy jumper, and it makes too many mistakes. It wouldn't have won last time. I think it was beat. I think it was beat when it unseated Ryder. And also the step up in trip. But it did win well here over 2 mile 4. So it could suit. But it's a very, very iffy jumper. Untidy jumper, makes mistakes. And I can't have that. I can't have that. Grey Downing had a really, really hard race last time. Very hard race. Beat Bravesman game. Now, Le Homme Presse, its record when fresh is phenomenal. If you look at this, 2-year break, wins. 223, wins. Wins a few more along the way. Has a break, wins again. Has a break, wins. Beat Protectorat. And if you go on it came second 2 years ago. Sorry, it didn't come second. It fell unseated. 3 lengths down when picked on landing and unseated the rider at the last fence, and it was running a big race that day, and that was when Bravesman's game was 7-year-old and probably at its peak. Could run a good race. But I think the best recent form and one with the most potential is Spillane's Tower. I think this was a very, very good race. After a break, 208 days, and it looked all over the winner. And it came from behind. Jack Kennedy looked very untidy, I've got to say. But it must have been 1-3 coming over that last fence. Looked all over the winner and was just held. But look what beat it. Fact to File. We've got Galloping Deschamps in third. We've got Fast or Slow in fourth. Very good race. And this is the best recent form on offer. It's only a 6-year-old. I do believe they supplemented it for this race. Now, Ile-Francais, apart from its bleeding and its inconsistent form, I do think the real whacker will ensure it doesn't get free rein up front, and they could cut each other's throats. I'm not convinced with Banbridge's quality of its jumping. It's just an untidy jump, and I don't like it. Okay, so it's basically a race of has-beens, never will be's, and probably could be's. And I'm quite happy to have £10 win on Spillane's Tower at 3-1 with 365. There is a concern over the ground. I don't think the ground, it is good. I think it'll be on the slow side of good. Good to soft in places. It won't be as quick as last year. I think there'll be a lot of potential prominent / front runners in the race. It is nice to be up with the pace at Kempton, but I think Spillane's Tower has by far and away got the best recent form, and apart from the fact that it's never raced on good ground, has got the least number of questions to answer. So this is Day the Suit, hoping for a great Boxing Day, and like I said, my favourite day of the year. Bye for now.